Hey everybody, it's Tom Cherryholmes with IRATA.ONLINE, and I am making a work-in-progress announcement for the Apple II version of PLATOTerm. It's coming along quite nicely, and I'm going to take and do a small little demonstration of where we're at so far. It mostly seems to work. I've had to jerry-rig a bit of a serial setup into AppleWin so that I can make this work using TCP/SARE, and some of the characters are not being interpreted exactly right, which leads to some weird little quirks, and I suspect that hardware flow control is not working correctly, but hopefully those things will be resolved shortly. So until hardware flow control is working correctly here, I've kind of cramped it down to about 1200 bits per second so that we can show something working and working well enough. So with that, we'll actually go into our AppleWin emulator here. I have him set up to be an Apple IIe, a standard 64K Apple IIe. As of right now, PLATOTerm will also work on an Apple II Plus, although for best use on an Apple II Plus, I would highly recommend the Shift key modification be done, as Plato requires use of lowercase characters. So with that, we have our disk inserted in here. We have our floppy here, and we'll take and go ahead and start up Apple II here. I've turned off the sound. And we're running here at authentic speeds. I'm using the latest version of ProDOS 8, and it's implemented as a CC65 loader, which loads itself all the way down at load address 0803. And the mem high on this is BF00, so it has a comfortable address space in which to load the program here. It does a pretty decent job. I do have color monitor emulation turned on, so we can kind of see the artifacting effects that can occur if you're looking at this on a television. If you're going to be looking at this using a television, I deeply feel sorry for you. I highly recommend that if you have a monitor with a chroma killer circuit, to please turn it on, or please use an amber or green screen or white monochrome monitor to use PLATOTerm, as I am outputting in high resolution and I need the full 280 pixels across in order to output our text here. So once you start PLATOTerm, it's currently dropping you into terminal mode, and I can talk to my modem here. By default, we are in uppercase, and that will be fine for at least for us to get in here. Yes, please ignore the wonkiness of the font. I literally drew this 4x6 font extremely quickly over the course of about 2.5 hours, and it's going to need some work, and I will take and be doing some serious work on this in the next couple of days, as I've got some interested people that want to show this off at Kansas Fest. So with that, we wait here for a moment, and within a few moments we have the output terminal here running at 1200 bits per second going to the IRATA.ONLINE login page. And we'll go ahead and just log in with guest credentials. You can see again that we are in uppercase by default. And look at that, our Apple logo rendering in all its glory. And here we have the main menu coming up all nice and neat. So, I mean, everything that you would expect is pretty much here and ready to go. I do need to kill the caps lock here so I can get lowercase characters. And with that, we can go into things like bulletins and whatnot. We can see here, once we get the text font improved here, hopefully this will look a lot better. So to use the special Plato keys, such as back, the control key is used. So control B is back, control S is stop, control D is data, etc. Now for shift combinations of these characters, you will need to press the escape key first. So to press shift stop, you will need to press escape. then hold down Control and hit S. If anybody has a better way to enable this or to deal with this, please let me know. This is kind of difficult considering that the Apple II does not allow you to read the raw keyboard matrix. So, oops, this is the best I can do for now. If anybody has any better way to do it, please let me know. So now with that, we'll take and go into some of the other bits and pieces. We'll go ahead and we'll go to notes here and take a look at notes real quick. Now, since handshaking isn't, since hardware handshaking isn't working 100% here, it will stall out here slightly after drawing the menu here and displaying part of the menu, but that's to be expected. I'll take and try to resolve that as quickly as I possibly can here. You can see that it stalls out here in the middle. It happens. But we can go along just fine. We'll take and go into a notes file here. And we'll go ahead and enter a note just for the hell of it. We hit Shift Lab to write a base note, so Escape, Control L, which should give us our note editing screen here. Ooh, and it looks like I need to implement the spacebar. Oh yeah, looks like I still have some keys that I need to map in appropriately, but I will take and fine. That's okay. We'll go ahead and hit Shift next here to finish this. So Escape, Enter. Enter an identifying note. So again, kind of a little reminder here that this is still very much in development here. But you can see we're already pretty well able to take and navigate through the system, read notes, etc. Let's go ahead and back out of this particular notes file here. We can see our note there is number 37 up top. We'll shift back again and go back to the main menu, or go back to the notes menu at least. If I go ahead and do this again, shift back again, it will take us back to the main menu. So, I mean, like I said, there's still more to do. There are some things that I need to do definitely for the code base as a whole. And yep, here again, we get bit by some flow control issues because I went a little too quickly. That's fine. These things will be resolved. But I'm able to bring these up as quickly as I can precisely because I am able to leverage the fact that PLATOTerm is written in C and uses the CC65 compiler. And thus, the improvements and logic improvements that I make on one platform, be the Commodore 64 or the Atari, also work on the Apple II. So there is that. We'll go ahead and go into airfight here as a demonstration. We press Control D to go data. And right now it's actually trying to load the character set into the terminal here to display some of the custom graphics. This isn't implemented yet, but it will be shortly, and it will be implemented for all platforms since the character set loading will be done in C. I'm actually in the process of transliterating an algorithm that's in 6502 assembler and making it portable C. So with that, we go ahead, go into airfight here. There's nobody in the game here, but I'll take and I'll just take and get into the game, and we'll stay on the ground here as an initial example. Go ahead and pick number 13, good old F16 here. You can see line set characters being drawn here. And yep, I need to definitely work on the character set here. This will all come very quickly. Now that this is actually working, this will all happen really quickly. So we'll go ahead and put 5,000 pounds of fuel in the plane, and we'll go ahead and just put a full complement of missiles to load the plane up completely. And right now we're on the ground, and we have our display here, and we can, of course, alter the stick here, pull the stick back, and I'll go ahead and turn off the airplane display here so we can get some performance back. Turn off some of the gear so that all we have is the stick and the rudders. And turn on the flaps, 25 degrees. Yes, that is supposed to be a 5. And turn up the throttle to a 9, and we can basically at this point start hitting enter to go along the ground here. Now again, because this is being rendered at 1200 bits per second, and because we're rendering on a 1 megahertz machine here, the speed is not the fastest thing in the world, and this is only the beginning. We'll try to take and speed this up as much as we possibly can. You'll notice here that some of this is being lost because we're having to clear the screen, but I mean, for the most part, it's rendering pretty well, and I'm amazed at really how far this particular implementation has come. And this is only the beginning. More to come soon. You can see here now we're lifting off the ground. And so on. So with this, like I said, onward and upward, guys. It's only going to get better from here. But it's kind of just, I did this because I just got the serial routines to work correctly, and I wanted to show you guys while everything here was working before I really started to take and buckle down to polish this off. Hopefully, if everything goes right, I'll take and get a copy of this to both Michael Sternberg and to Kevin Savitz, who are both at Kansas Fest 2018, to show this off. So, you know, we'll see. So with that, we'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and hit escape, Control S, and stop this goofy thing. We'll see if we can get to the end of this. If not, I'll just simply stop the demonstration here if it doesn't end in any appreciable amount of time. Well, anyway, I guess this is it for now. Yeah, this is a good demonstration, a good place to stop. So until next time, guys, there will be some more work in progress demos to be done in the next week. Stay tuned.